Give it a try. Authentic, source verified, in-depth, timely, independent spotlight.
From the news desk, where accurate reporting is prepared with precision, nothing escapes our watchful eyes as we bring you the news swiftly, right as it breaks. True well-informed research from trusted sources, because we are a trusted source. We deliver every story without any form of learning or ideology. We remain impartial. We remain straightforward. This is Western Spring Television. You are welcome to News as It Is.
Samuel Ladoke Akintola was a frontal figure in the historical moves that birthed an independent Nigeria from colonial Britain. As a freedom activist, he deployed his wits, energy, intellect and oratory skills to prepare the grounds for constitutional talks that eventually culminated in the country's independence in 1960. The 13th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land cut his teeth as a politician when he became a foundation member of Action Group, the dominant political party in the Western region, and was elected the party's parliamentary leader of opposition at the Federal House of Representatives. The crisis in the Action Group, which pitched Samuel Ladoke Akintola against his leader, was not only a sore point in his colorful political life, but a reversal of gains.
Here are the top stories of the news. Residents feared missing as bandits storm Ekiti community, kill pastor during service. Governor Seyi Makinde hosts Peter Obi others in 2027 coalition talks. And on the foreign scene, Mali leader says situation under control and first speech sings Al-Qaeda linked group attacks. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Femi Ojo. Gunmen suspected to be bandits on Tuesday evening invaded a church in Daunio, the headquarters of Ileje local government area in Ekiti State, killing a pastor, while an unconfirmed number of residents were feared abducted. It was gathered that the incident occurred during a revival for the program. According to eyewitnesses, the gunmen stormed the church at about 6:45 p.m. and opened fire on the congregation, killing the revivalist, who was simply identified as one Pastor Aregbe, while several others were injured. When contacted, the chairman of the Ileje local government, Pius Alaba, said several people were still missing, adding that the exact number of those abducted could not be yet ascertained. According to him, information from the pastor in charge of the church indicated that while some worshippers escaped into the surrounding bush, others were shot during the attack. Security agencies are yet to release an official statement on the attack. And still, with security, the Ogun State Police Command has rescued 5 students of Gateway Polytechnic, Sakpade, who were abducted by armed criminals in the Sakpade area of the state. According to a press statement by the command's public relations officer, Oluseyi Babasheyi, the incident occurred on Monday at about 10:55 p.m. when the Ipara division received a distress report of a suspected kidnapping. He disclosed that acting promptly, a patrol team was deployed to the scene where an ash-colored Toyota vehicle was discovered abandoned. Babasheyi said the vehicle had visible bullet impact and blood stains, while mobile phones and other personal belongings were recovered from it. He added that further examination of the scene revealed an identity card belonging to a student of the institution, confirming that the occupant of the vehicle was a student. The development necessitated the immediate escalation of the incident and an activation of a full-scale rescue operation. The PPRO also stated that during the rescue operation, the kidnappers engaged operatives in a gun duel, but were overwhelmed by superior firepower and tactical response, forcing them to flee with suspected gunshot wounds. In the meantime, the Delta State Police Commander said the policeman who shot and killed the suspect in Efron, as captured in a viral video, will be tried for murder. The spokesperson of the command, Bright Dafe, who disclosed this during an interview this morning, said the officer identified as one ASP Nohu's man had been moved to the force headquarters Abuja to face disciplinary action. Dafe said the officer acted unprofessionally and likened his violent action to one that could not be explained unless from a spiritual perspective. When asked why Usman's face was covered in the press statement issued by the commander announcing his arrest, the police image maker said it was a professional thing to do. The extrajudicial killing of 28-year-old Meno D by the ASP has sparked outrage online. According to the police, the incident occurred on Sunday when operatives attached to the area commander Efrun acted on intelligence that the deceased had been apprehended while allegedly attempting to waybill a parcel containing a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition.
So on Sunday, this young man came with a waybill. Having had that meeting with the CP, the park decided to check every waybill before they were allowed to go. On checking that particular waybill, they saw a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of live ammunition. They quickly arrested the guy and tied him to his back and called the area commander, Efurun Area Command, who now mandated a team, a surveillance team, led by this ASP, to go and bring the suspect. The instruction was very clear. Go and bring the suspect. That was the instruction. So one would wonder why a suspect who is not a threat to you, a suspect who is already tied to his back, a suspect who was begging for his life, you try to shoot him the first time, it did not work, you remove your magazine, arrange it again and shoot him for the second time. It is not explainable, it is not pardonable. And I want members of the public to know that the police does not cover officers like that. I'm very sure that guy will have his day in court and will face murder charges. I'm very sure. I will not speak for the top hierarchy of the force, but I'm certain that is the direction it is going, because as we speak, he left Asaba last night by night movement. They left Asaba to Benin to conclude his query, and they left Benin as at 8 p.m. just to go to Abuja. I believe as at this morning, they're already in the force headquarters because he will be dealt with. There is already an ongoing section of the force disciplinary committee that will handle his case, and I believe by the end of today, we will hear the outcome of that section. So it is not something we can explain. He only knows, he's the only one that can explain why he did what he did. And we use his head to carry what he has. The cross, the music he has started playing, like I've always been saying, he will dance to it because that guy has a right to life. Every suspect has a right.
Now, turning to politics, a former vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, has dismissed the possibility of a unified opposition candidate for the 2027 presidential election, describing the idea as impossible. Baba Ahmed made the remarks during a news chart reacting to the Ibadan declaration by an opposition coalition which agreed to field a single candidate to challenge President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress APC. According to him, the Ibadan meeting was not attended by all opposition parties, but only the People's Democratic Party PDP and the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, who Baba Ahmed, who was the vice presidential candidate alongside Peter Obi under the Labour Party in 2023, described the idea of a single opposition candidate in 2027 as a lie. The Kaduna-born politician argued that the opposition coalition under the ADC is unlikely to succeed, adding that it would not fly even if his former principal Obi is given the party's ticket. He also blamed President Tinubu's administration for what they describe as the destabilization of opposition political parties at the expense of focusing on governance responsibilities. The former Labour Party vice presidential candidate also announced that he is set to leave the party for the People's Redemption Party, the PRP. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Tuesday held a closed-door meeting with a presidential aspirant at the 2027 general elections, Peter Obi, at the governor's office in Ibadan, the state capital. Also met with them at the meeting were former governors Samegu Ebonyi, Okweseleze Nwodo, Enugu, Achike Udenwa, Anambra, Senator Ben Obi, Dr. Oseloka Obaze, and Chief Onyema Ogochukwu. Obi, speaking with newsmen shortly after the meeting, said the delegation visited the governor to consult with him on the coalition for the 2027 elections and how to build a better Nigeria. He said his visit formed part of wider discussions with key stakeholders on national issues and the need for collaboration across political lines. While fielding questions from newsmen on what Nigerians should look forward to ahead of 2027, will be added that they should expect a better Nigeria, a more united, secure, and progressive country. Moving on, President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday held a closed-door meeting with a delegation of Plateau State stakeholders, led by the state governor, Kele Muftuang, at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. The delegation arrived at the villa at about 1 p.m. for the meeting, which was scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. The discussions lasted several hours, though details of the deliberations were not made public. The meeting is understood to be a follow-up to the president's recent visit to the state in the aftermath of the deadly Palm Sunday attack in Angwan, Rokuba, Jos. The closed-door session comes approximately 4 weeks after the March 29 attack, when gunmen opened fire at the Bize Junction in Jos, killing at least 28 people, including university students and staff, and injuring 22 others. The incident triggered a widespread fear and heightened security concerns across the state, with sporadic violence reported in the areas surrounding the University of Jos. President Tinubu subsequently visited Jos on April 2, where he met with government officials, traditional rulers, and the families of victims. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We will be right back after this break. Stay with us.